Have you heard about the Japanese bodybuilder who only sleeps 30 minutes a day? His name is Daisuke Hori. What? That is so cool if that's true. And is he like healthy? There's no way, right? There's absolutely no way. I remember a long time ago, I read this story about, I think it was a Hungarian man who got shot in the head and the bullet got stuck in his brain. And when they removed the bullet, he no longer could sleep. And he lived to be like 80-something years old, actually never sleeping. And I was so jealous. I was so jealous. There's no way. That's not possible. I don't believe that. You can't do that, though. Like, it's not like a mind over body thing. You actually can't. Like, I don't think it's. In the case of the Hungarian man who got shot in the head, I have no clue. I think even the research was inconclusive on how that was even possible for him. But you can't just train your brain to function normally without sleep. You wouldn't last. Is there any evidence to support this, or is it just him saying that? Because I can make shit up too about it. To examine Hori's claims, Japan's Yomiuri TV followed him closely for 3 days. That's not an extensive research. The Japan Short Sleepers Training Association in 2016. That's actually adorable. But I just don't believe him. I actually just don't believe him. It seems like there's no real proof. Like, why don't we have someone actually examine those claims? Like an actual, like, medical team. Because right now it's just him saying, yeah, I only sleep for like 30 minutes a day for 12 years. I remember in high school, one of our coaches on the basketball team, he claimed to only sleep for 4 hours a day. And he had done that his whole life. And he was like the most physically fit person I'd ever seen. But I just always thought he was making that shit up, you know what I mean? Like 4 hours of sleep, I think you could you'd survive, right? Like, I don't think you die from 4 hours of sleep. But to be as lucid as he was, as active as he was, and in that good of shape as he was, I just feel like you wouldn't be able to do that with 4 hours of sleep. Like, I feel like you'd always just be drained. Yeah, like, 30 minutes a day, he'd be dead. He'd drop dead. But 4 hours, I know you'd survive. I just don't think you would be him. Kobe averaged 4 hours of sleep? Never heard that. "11 years ago, Kobe Bryant gets 3 to 4 hours of sleep every night. About 1% of the population can survive on 4 hours of sleep or less. They are known as sleepless elite." Is that a real thing? This is just a band. Interesting self-promo. That fit in really well here. Here, in 2021, Kobe Bryant wound up regretting the astonishing lack of sleep he got throughout his career. Is that real? But yeah, it looks like he was reported as like a 4-ish hour a night sleeper. It's such a shame, man. 4 hours would be fine. If everyone could just function on 4 hours of sleep, like optimally function on 4 hours of sleep, I'd be so much happier. I hate getting 8 hours of sleep. Hate it. Hate it. 6 hours, I'm okay. I can do fine on 6 hours. 6 hours, I actually usually feel more rested than 8. Once I get to that 8 ballpark, I wake up the next day and I just feel fucking drained. Like I slept too much. I like 6 more, but I know 8's healthier. Kobe died in 2020. That article's crap. Well, he didn't say it in 2020. The article's from 2020. I guess it's just referencing when he talked about regretting his sleep habits throughout his career. I don't think they channeled a medium or something to talk to him. How do you know 6 hours isn't healthy for you? Everyone's different. I just think there's just so much that's gone into like the importance of sleep. Like the less you get correlating to so many health effects that it just feels like the more you get, the better you are for it. Untreated insomnia, defined as less than 4 hours of sleep a night. Average lifespan is 48 years. Is that real? Let's see. Insomnia with short sleep duration and mortality, the Penn State cohort. So this looks like this might have been what you were referencing. Wow. Wait, what? There's no way it's that conclusive. 97%? But this is what I'm saying, man. There's just so much research on like mortality rates and diseases and shit that correlate to like little amounts of sleep. It just doesn't seem worth it to even roll the dice on it. Like, even if I do feel better with like 6 hours of sleep versus 8, it's probably just safer just to get the 8. What's the longest you've been without sleep? 3 days. I went 72 hours without sleep once. And I felt great, actually. I think at some point, like a switch got flipped, and I went from tired to like energized. Why? I was going through a really rough time. Something had happened, and I just couldn't sleep because I just kept thinking about it. I wish there was a way to reduce the amount of sleep required for the human body and still get all of the benefits, the health benefits of sleep. I truly think that would be the holy grail. There's a guy, Angus Barberi, who didn't eat for a year, so in honor of it, they named a cut of steak after him. That last part is a lie. Interesting lie. I remember I read a story about a guy who was like morbidly obese, so with monitoring from his doctors, he stopped eating. He would only drink. And I think he went a few months without consuming a single calorie in food. And he was totally healthy, lost a lot of weight. That's the only thing I've ever heard like that. I haven't heard about a whole year without food. I still need vitamins regardless of the calorie intake. Well, true, I think they were probably giving him like intravenous like vitamins and minerals, whatever. But he didn't consume a single calorie from food, was the thing. The Angus Barberi story is real. He still holds the Guinness World Record for longest fast without solid food. He went 382 days without food. Let me look him up. The man who refused to eat for 382 days and lost 275 pounds. Holy. Scary and morbid. Wait, why is it scary and morbid?
In 1966, Scotsman Angus Barbieri accomplished a feat that many would deem incredibly dangerous. He successfully completed a fast that lasted 382 days. His decision to undertake this challenge stemmed from his weight, which exceeded 450 pounds. At the age of 27, he aspired to achieve fitness and good health. In a little over a year, he shed 276 pounds and established a record for the longest duration of a fast.
How'd he stay alive? He had to be consuming vitamins from somewhere. Liquids. That's probably why they specify solid food. I would imagine. I mean, I'm sure I could look it up. I could absolutely just look it up. It seems well documented. Fasting is actually so healthy. Now we're just spouting some Brian Johnson shit. It is, though. Intermittent fasting is actually super healthy. Have you fasted? If so, for how long? I did I did intermittent fasting a lot. I've done that many times throughout my life. Usually would do usually 16. I did do longer though in college occasionally. But it would usually be like a 16-hour fast. Intermittent is the way to go for some people, although science still supports small meals. Does the science now support small meals? I remember back in the day, there was usually a debate between small meals versus, what was it? I think it was 2 big meals. What was was it the warrior diet? Which was the one that was like 2 big meals a day and then fast? God, I'm going back to fucking bodybuilding forums. But yeah, I remember small meals was a big hot one for a while that people used to debate on all the time. I always liked that. I always liked the little small meals throughout the day. I always felt so much better. Like, never overate, never felt lethargic, nothing like that. Intermittent fasting was good too, though. I saw better results with intermittent fasting, but I always felt better with the small meals.